Last week, I showed you why my total testosterone of 1170 is almost irrelevant without context. Today, we will discuss estrogen, and my estrogen came back at 44.3, above the reference range, above what most lab considered normal for a man. And I was completely relaxed when I saw it. Here's why. Most men are terrified of estrogen. They think it's a female hormone. They want it gone. They take supplements to suppress it. They avoid foods that might raise it. And here's the thing, that fear is understandable. But a single number is devoid of any context. Okay? A single estrogen number tells you almost nothing. What tells you everything is the ratio. Testosterone to estrogen. And that is what determines whether your estrogen is a problem or not. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to read that ratio and why it changes everything. So first, what does estrogen actually do in a man's body? Now, most men think female hormone, lower it, avoid it. But here's the thing. Estrogen is not a female hormone. It is a human hormone. Women have more, men have less, but men genuinely need it. Estrogen keeps your bone dense and strong. The evidence on this is clear. It supports memory, focus, and mood stability. It is good for your brain. It maintains the fluid in your joints that lubricates them. Without it, they become dry and painful. Next is libido. Estrogen plays a direct role in sexual desire. Too little and libido drops, even with good testosterone numbers. So the goal is never to lower estrogen as far as possible. The goal is balance, the right ratio. Right, so my estradiol came back at 44.3. By the way, estradiol is the most active form of estrogen. Okay, the two other forms are less active. So 44.3 is above the reference range. Most men would see that and panic. I did not, and here is exactly why. Estrogen in men is produced from testosterone. Your body converts testosterone into estrogen through an enzyme called aromatase. The more testosterone your body produces, the more estrogen gets made alongside it. My testosterone 1170, that is exceptional, and exceptional testosterone means my body is converting more of it into estrogen. My estrogen is not high because something is wrong. It is high because my testosterone is very high. The two are directly connected. And this is where the ratio becomes everything. Total testosterone divided by estrogen. This single calculation tells you whether your estrogen level makes sense for your testosterone level or whether the balance has genuinely shifted. So simply to figure out your ratio, divide your total testosterone number by your estrogen. So 1170 divided by 44.3 equals 26.4 to 1. So functional optimal range is between 20 and 40. My ratio is 26.4, which sits comfortably within that range. Despite a number that looks high on paper, my ratio is perfectly healthy. You do not want your ratio to be less than 20 or above 40. Balance is the key. Screenshot this table. You can use it at your next blood panel. Quick note, if you're watching this and thinking, I want to know precisely what my numbers mean for my specific situation, I do a 45-minute one-on-one diagnostic session called the Empower Diagnostic. Link is in the description. Let us keep going. Right. So can you know if you have high estrogen levels and a low ratio, which in most cases means testosterone has declined? Yes, there are common signs and symptoms. First is the belly fat that will not shift despite training and eating well. Estrogen dominance drives fat storage, specifically around your abdominal area, and that abdominal fat produces more aromatase, which converts more testosterone into estrogen, which drives more fat storage, a self-reinforcing cycle. Low drive and flat motivation, not depression exactly, just flat. The engine is running, but there is no acceleration. Second is gynecomastia, breast tissue development in men. This is the most visible and most distressing symptom of genuine estrogen excess. It happens when the ratio tips significantly and stays there. Then there is emotional sensitivity, feeling things more intensely than usual, and lastly, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, mental heaviness that does not lift even after sleep. So, a good question to ask is this: what drives this ratio? Not high estrogen levels, but what lowers your testosterone. And the first one is again excess body fat. This is the biggest driver because fat tissue produces aromatase. More body fat means more testosterone converting to estrogen. The man who gains 10 kilos over 2 years, for example, and notice his drive, energy, and mood declining, right? So then there is alcohol. Alcohol, the liver processes estrogen for clearance, and alcohol impairs liver function. Estrogen accumulates, even moderate regular drinking affects this process over time. Then there is sleep disruption. Poor sleep suppresses testosterone production, testosterone declines, ratio shifts. The man who sleeps badly for months and feel his vitality declining is often watching his ratio deteriorate in real time. And chronic stress. Cortisol and testosterone compete for the same raw material, pregnenolone. We covered this in video 2. Chronic stress diverts pregnenolone towards cortisol and away from testosterone. Testosterone declines, ratio shifts. Do you see the pattern? In almost every case, the root cause is declining testosterone, not rising estrogen. The ratio shifts because testosterone drops, not because estrogen surges. And this changes everything about what you actually do about it. The solution is almost never to aggressively lower estrogen. The solution is to support testosterone through sleep, through stress reduction, through body composition, through understanding your specific numbers. Right, so next week, I'll discuss the most potent androgen in the body, 5 times more powerful than testosterone, and what happens when you block it to save your hair, and that hormone is DHT. So if this video gave you something useful, subscribe. Every Tuesday, one video, one topic, specifically for men in their 40s and 50s who want to understand what is actually happening inside their body. And if you are ready to understand your own numbers deeply, not just the generic picture, but your specific hormones, your specific ratios, your specific roadmap, that is exactly what the Empower Diagnostic is built for. 45 minutes, one-on-one, I go deep into your specific health picture through a detailed clinical intake I've built from ground up. The link is in the description. I am Akash.